What's up, guys? Tim Little, welcome back to TacticalBassin. Today's video is going to be a boat tour. To switch things up a little bit, we're on Watts Bar in beautiful Tennessee. I'm going to give you guys an inside look of what I towed across the country to do a bunch of different types of fishing. Largemouth, smallmouth. After this, we're going to head north, maybe go to Michigan, Wisconsin. So today's video, we're going to go through my boat. I'm out here with my family, Matt's family, our buddy Coop and his wife. So let's go check out my boat. At dinner the other night, met a subscriber, super stoked to meet you. And he had a question. All the way from California, how do you guys know what to bring? So light bulb went off. I figured I would shoot a video of what I brought, because really, you can't bring it all. And when you're towing 3,000, 4,000 miles one way across the country, you have to limit what you bring. So like I said, Matt, myself, our buddy Coop, we're in this house out here, Tennessee. Matt's actually out on the water right now with Coop. But let's jump down to my boat and I'll show you kind of the different things that I brought. You know, mentally thinking, trying to plan for this trip, I was thinking post-spawn. You know, as we traveled east across the country, gonna get farther and farther ahead of schedule, especially down the lower states, the warmer states. As we head up through Tennessee and up maybe into Michigan, you're gonna backtrack a little bit, so you're gonna need some cold water stuff. But let's jump over to the boat and I'll show you what's inside. All right, so there's no planned preparation for any of this. So what you see is what you get. This is how my boat is. Usually it's pretty organized. Like I said, packed to the brim, coming across the country, so things are gonna be a little bit full, but let's dive in and show you what I got. So right off the bat, you guys have probably seen both Matt and I's our boat walkthroughs before. When we completed it, we got the talons, the trolling motor, the Ultrex, the graphs, all that stuff. One thing that is changed on my boat that I'm super stoked about, I'll share with you guys real quick. We went with the Bioenno lithium batteries. So far, those things have been amazing. Very lightweight, saved a ton of weight in the back of the boat. And when you're traveling cross country and you have a lot of weight on your boat, on your axles, you tend to blow more hubs, go through more bearings, seals, that sort of stuff. So anytime you can limit the amount of weight, it's a plus. And those lithiums are not only great on the water, but they're great towing. So if you guys haven't made the switch to lithium, or you're still on the fence about it, you know, early on, I know for me, some of my concerns, you know, some of them were catching on fire, the technology wasn't there, but I can tell you that the technology has come tenfold, so much better, no issues, and I love them. So everything else on my boat is pretty much the same. I got the graphs, I got the 12, the Solix 12 and 15 at the front, 15 up front, Hydrowave up front, Talon remote right there, and then of course the Ultrex. You know, one benefit of running all of this stuff together is the one boat network. I can control my trolling motor and my talons from any one of my graphs. Makes it super easy, especially fishing with the family. I can literally sit in the driver's seat and talon down or run the trolling motor from my graph. Very, very easy. So planning for this trip, you know, we didn't really know exactly where we were going to go. We knew that we'd been cooped up in California. You know, we had the whole COVID thing going on. Everything was on lockdown and things started opening up, and we knew that we wanted to be smart about it, be healthy about it, but get out on the road and do some filming and hanging out with the family. And might seem like a little bit of a task, but when you start thinking about what tackle you're gonna bring for all these different types of fisheries, it became overwhelming. And so hopefully today's video will help any of you guys that might want to do one of these trips, or you want to travel, you know, just around your state. It'll definitely help. But the thought process for me is one, safety. Got to make sure that I have all of my trailer stuff. If I have a flat tire, if I have an extension cord, a generator, those sort of things. We don't know where we're staying, where we're gonna get power, how we're gonna charge our boat, all that sort of stuff. So I got that out of the way. I have one compartment in the very back that has all of my spare tire stuff, my keys for my nuts, my lock nuts on my rim, a little trailer jack, gloves, seals, all of that stuff I have back there. That is the boring stuff, but let me tell you guys, it is very important because, you know, 12 hours into my trip, I had a brake rotor come apart, of all things, so I had to get that fixed, and we were on the side of the road. So it happens. Anytime you travel, that stuff happens, but more importantly, the tackle. In my head, I was thinking post-spawn. As we traveled east, things were gonna warm up, things were gonna fast forward through that spawn process. By the time I'm packing, and you know, I'm looking to be on the road for several weeks, right? So I'm gonna be on the road during the spawn transition. So very hard. So in my mind, I'm thinking shad spawn, you know, out here especially, you know, these lakes have a real good shad spawn early morning. And you can get out with a spinnerbait and just blast them, a fluke, just blast them, top water, blast them. So I had to have that stuff packed. So here we go. Kind of open this up for you guys. And there it is. This is the main compartment. I'll open this one up too so you can kind of see. I have all of my plastics, my line spooler, my seat, line, all that stuff in here, and I'll go through each individual compartment. But right off the bat, got some swim baits. Cannot leave home without the Kitex. Everywhere that I fished across the country, you throw a Kitex, either a 3/8, a 4/3, a 4/8, some type of swim bait on a swim bait head. Of course, we throw the Tactical Finesse or the Matt Allen if we're fishing for heavier, bigger fish, but anywhere in the country that has worked, and it's worked here out on Watts Bar. Getting back to the shad spawn, it's really, you know, out on the West Coast, we don't really talk about it much, but out here in the Midwest, I'm actually gonna call this the East Coast because we're in the Eastern time zone. We're 3 hours ahead of California time. So out here, the shad spawn is a big deal. So first light, when you can get out early, get up shallow, look for those bays where those bass can pin the shad up against the bank. You will see some amazing blow-ups, and a spinnerbait is probably my #1 way to catch them. So got the spinnerbaits, got a hodgepodge of topwater. You know, how do you talk about shad spawn or post-spawn fishing without a good old goodie box of topwaters? You can see I got rovers in here, vixens, spooks, poppers, some shower blows, some mega bass stuff, whopper ploppers. Got everything packed in here, so I have everything ready to go. So when I pull out my topwater box, I got something that will work in all of the different topwater categories. Ooh, even though it's stormy out here, I mean, my boat is soaked. I don't know if you guys can see all the standing water. It is still hot. I'm starting to sweat. So, gotta love the East Coast, Midwest. I'm gonna pull this stuff out just in no particular order, just because it'll go back in reverse order. But got this box right here. Some of these boxes you guys have seen before in the videos I've done. This is how I'm keeping all of my Kitex, my 4/8s, all the way down to my 2/8s. I keep them all in this Plano Edge box right there. Did a little bit, actually, did some shopping. You know, one of my favorite things to do as we travel across the country and go to these different fisheries is to go to the local tackle shops. You know, that is the foundation of the sport. That every lake seems to have a good close by tackle shop, and for me it's fun to go into some of these shops, obviously, that I've never been to, and see, you know, every shop's different. You know, some shops you go in and there's an entire wall, like no joke, probably 20 yards long, of just zoom. And then another one you'll go into and they'll have an entire wall like that of Yamamoto or 6 Sense or something like that. So every shop is different, and it's just good to talk with the guys, the shop owners, people that work there, and talk fishing. So just went out and bought, honestly what I bought was a bunch of stuff for the kids. I bought them some bluegill stuff, some stuff they can fish on the dock. So some Senkos, some Yum Dingers, got those right there, some fishing line. But that was just going to the tackle shop and buying some stuff for the kids and some stuff that I needed. we all have these type of boxes. This is a box I just threw in. Again, this is another hodgepodge box. It's got deep cranks, square bills, glide baits, chatter baits, Texas rig weights, tungsten. This little guy right here, you guys were asking him before on that video that I did my terminal boxes. This is another little compartment out of that Plano Edge box that holds all your tungsten. So I threw a little bit of tungsten in there. But again, you never know what you're gonna need on the road, and you can't bring it all, so you bring a little bit of everything. All right, I'm gonna blow through some of this stuff just real quickly. Line boxes, I have a fluoro box and a mono box. Mono I have from 12, I have 12, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 40. I brought the 40 because out here, we're probably gonna be doing some striper fishing, and I love throwing big baits and big top waters for striper. Can't go wrong with 40-pound leader. Right here, I got all of my fluorocarbon leader. This is all FC Sniper. I have 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 12, all right there. Again, you never know what you're gonna come across as you're traveling across the country. You know, you might stop at a local park that has a lake, or you might stop or be invited to go fish a pond, or you might be on one of these Tennessee River lakes. These TVA lakes, you know, they're huge. It's a big river system, Tennessee River system, Tennessee Valley, and they're enormous. Lots of fun to fish, but treble hooks. You never know when you're gonna need to switch out baits. You guys have seen this box recently. That's my Nico rig box. You know, a lot of this stuff is just my everyday stuff. But again, the post spawn, mainly gonna be throwing crankbaits. Got those right here. I got a whole bunch of different, I got 8XDs, 6XDs, 10XDs, some 6 cents, some Megabass, deep M's, even some river to sea square bills. Somewhere in here I have a box of our crankbait, but I'll get to that. Again, no particular order. I am just giving you guys the tour so you guys can see what I brought 4,000 miles, actually 3,826 to this spot where we're at right now. Ned rig. This probably won't even come out of the boat or be put to use until we go north to fish for smallies, but you cannot leave home without your smallie stuff. These guys right here, blade baits. I don't know how many guys out actually in the Midwest or back east throw blade baits, but so much fun as the grass comes up. You know, you guys know that we love throwing lipless cranks. The blade baits are a must. Flashy swimmers, got all the different sizes. You guys can kind of see how I organize it. 10-aught, half ounce, 8-aught, 3/8, 6-aught, 3/8. I have all the different color, or all the different sizes, the 2 different colors, the silver and the gold. But throwing a weedless swim bait works pretty much anywhere in the country, especially early morning shad spawn. You throw, you know, a 4.3 or 4.8 Kitech on a flashy swimmer, that is good to go as well. Frog box. Ooh, digging deep. Jerk baits, Vision 110s, +1s, and +2s. Oh, the good stuff. Glide baits. These are all S-Waver 200s. You know, out here back east, you kind of have some bigger bait fish. You got the bluebacks. You got different types of shad, bigger shad. So the 200s we really like to throw. I'm not going to pull out the rest of these. I will show you what they are just so we can get going through a little bit quicker on this. Big M, some Megabass Big M's. Those are their, what are they, 7.5s. That's their big, all right, I guess I will pull it out. That's their big deep diver crank. Some 110s, popper box. Of course, our tactical cranks. Those work everywhere. Some more deep cranks, some beast hooks, an A-rig box, drop shot worm hooks, tactical finesse heads, guppy heads for smallmouth, LV500s, chatterbaits, and S-Waver 168s. So as you can see, brought a lot of stuff, but it all has its place. You know, the swim baits, the glide baits, going for your bigger bites, the spawn, if you're trying to get some of those bigger fish up shallow early, throwing the bigger baits work. Of course, those boxes never go back how you had them before, but I got them all to fit. Real quick, I'll show you this one. This is literally my rod locker. That's where I have all my rods. I actually took out the moose rack to just be able to lay all the rods in there. Fairly flat. Just keep everything nice and organized. Again, packing for different fisheries. Light line, clear water, finesse rods, gonna be your smallmouth fishing, all the way up to your punching, frogging, flipping rods in muddy water. So you gotta bring a whole bunch of stuff. So some of the stuff you guys have seen before. This is my line winder. You guys have seen that in previous videos. This is how I store all my plastics. You know, I've talked about this before, these Plano bags. I have my drop shot worms. I got my Ned rig worms. I got shaky head worms. Pretty much all of my plastics right here stored in these guys. Dream shots. This one, I believe, is just a, yes, this is a bag from a previous smallmouth trip. It's got swim bait heads, Nico rig hooks, all my favorite plastics, tubes, all that sort of stuff. So I just threw this in here last minute because I didn't have time to organize it before this trip. So I threw the rest of the stuff in just in tubs. You know, right here, got some G-rigs, some Ned heads, some Z-Man stuff, some dark sleepers. Again, all smallmouth stuff. So what's gonna happen? I'm gonna bring this tub, I'm gonna tow my boat up, and I'm gonna go through that tub and I'm gonna rig all my rods. I'll probably pull all my largemouth stuff out and then just go through and rig all that stuff. Right now, I probably should have this out of my boat because I'm not using it at all. Tube heads, some hooks, some owner hooks, kamikaze hooks, some spark shads, just more smallmouth. You never go wrong with a bunch of smallmouth stuff, but I don't know if we actually talked about these very much, but if you guys haven't tried these, this is the Damiki Armor Shad. These are great. They're a little bit more resilient than a Kitex. So they work good on your chatterbaits, they work good on your swim jigs, they work good just as a swim bait. Little more dense plastic, but the Damiki Armor Shads you guys should check out. Bait knocker, a throw rope. I have my throw cushion over here, lights, ropes, fire extinguisher, everything else right there. But as you can see, when you're coming across country and you're putting, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 miles one way, you're gonna fish all different bodies of water, all different techniques, and you need to have at least a little bit of everything. So if you do get on a bite, or you do figure out a bite, that's when you can go to you know, Tackle Warehouse or your local tackle shop and order what you need. So to answer, what do you bring across the country? That is it. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking mainly reaction with the post spawn. You know, these fish are coming off beds. They're gonna be moving out to deeper water. Some will stay shallow. You can get on your flip and bite, your frog bite, back into cover, fishing docks like this. And then some fish will go out on ledges deep. You're gonna get them on deep cranks, Alabama rigs, and jigs, big shaky heads, that sort of stuff. One other thing I wanna show you guys, make sure, couple things. Those of you guys that haven't towed across different state lines, make sure you keep all of your paperwork, because you'll get boat inspections as you come into different states. This one right here, I believe, is from Wyoming. They go through your live well check, make sure you don't have any quagga mussels. If you do have some standing water, they will hose it out with really hot water. So keep track of all of that. Have a place to put them. Remember to bring your sunglass and screen cleaner, and most importantly, make sure you guys get a good mapping system. This is the Lake Master. You can see this is the southeast. I will tell you, this lake I've never been to before, as I'm running out on the river channel, I'm finding main lake points, I'm finding breaks, creek channels, all that sort of stuff with the chip right here. They're phenomenal. So get yourself, it doesn't matter which graph you're running, get yourself a good chip, because it will save you guys a ton of time out on the water trying to find fish. So hopefully that answers some of your questions about what you bring cross country. You know, I tried to fly through some of the more less intriguing stuff, you know, your trailering stuff, your gloves, your masks, you know, gloving up at the gas stations, your masks, going in to buy stuff, generator, extension cord, all that stuff. But as far as tackle, that will pretty much cover it. I probably even brought too much, but again, we were out at dinner the other night and met a fan, and he asked, you know, how do we figure out what we're bringing from California? So that was kind of the gist of why I decided to shoot this video. So if you guys have any questions or any suggestions, please leave those down below in the comments section. As always, guys, we appreciate all of your support. Matt and I are super stoked to be able to travel cross country, fish your bodies of water, meet you guys at your ramps, take pictures, shake hands, tell fish stories. It's awesome. We love doing it. And that is the plan moving forward, to do more of this, fish more bodies of water, step out of that West Coast deal. You know, we fish a lot. Obviously, we fish a lot of West Coast lakes, right? The Delta, Clear Lake, Shasta, Bullards, all those phenomenal fisheries. I mean, some of the best on the planet. And as we venture farther and farther east and farther south and north, there's some truly amazing fisheries all over this country, and that's what we're looking to explore and do, and hopefully help you guys, bring you guys along during it, and help show you guys how we break down lakes, how we figure them out, because it's all new to us, but a bass is a bass, and they eat lures. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments section. As always, guys, we appreciate you. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are growing faster than ever, and that snowball is just getting going, guys. So we appreciate you. If you guys learned something from this video or have any suggestions, please leave it a comment, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you, each and every one of you. As always, guys, have a good one.